guys, thanks for joining. This time we're going to talk about the top 5 myths that I'm seeing sellers believing about the real estate market these days. So let me start with a little story. I listed a house recently, and in my conversation with my sellers leading up to it, I realized that they were operating based on some really old ways of doing things, like we ask for more than we want, or it's all about lots and lots of negotiations. And I hate to say this, but unfortunately, homeowners now are often operating with a lot of incorrect information when they start trying to sell their home. The problem is that these myths, or just old ways of doing things, can make it so much harder for you to sell your house, and actually might even end up costing you time and money. And who wants that, right? Your home is probably the most valuable investment you own, so you can't really afford to be making expensive home selling mistakes based on facts that are old, useless, and or maybe misleading. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 myths and mistakes that you will want to avoid when you're preparing to sell your house. If we've not met yet, my name is Shelby Brooks, and I've built a multi-million-dollar real estate business in Knoxville, Tennessee, out of being a trusted advisor for my clients. It's my mission to treat every client like they're my family and to turn transactions into relationships. So let's dive into these myths. The first one, you need to include wiggle room in your asking price. This is a very common house selling myth that sellers should always ask for a price that's higher than what they'd be willing to sell the house for. And I get it, this used to be a very common practice, but it's not necessarily a good idea right now. Not only does it put off potential buyers, it can also lead to significant price drops over time and result in you actually getting less for your house than you probably would have if you had just priced it well to begin with. Yeah, I get it. We all used to follow that strategy of leaving that kind of wiggle room in there to negotiate. And that really did used to be the smart thing to do. Today's market, buyers have become so accustomed to having to pay at least asking for a home. So if you start out too aggressively, it can actually end up scaring them off. You might still leave a tiny little bit of wiggle room, but honestly, the market's going to drive it up with multiple offers, if it's going to. And if that doesn't happen, then you can feel confident it wouldn't have sold for a higher price anyway, even if you had listed it there. Keep in mind though, even if someone does offer you that higher price, you will still most likely have to go through an appraisal. And if that price doesn't fall in line with what other similar houses in your area have sold for, you may be in for a rude awakening. We can put $1 million price tag on a $500,000 property. That doesn't mean it's going to sell for that much. This said, there are some buyers out there who will still expect that you've left a little bit of wiggle room in your price, especially if you've been on market a while. So remember, you can simply ask for what you're actually looking for and not negotiate on the price. Pricing it well to begin with will automatically draw in inquiries and may bring you offers that are actually higher than your asking price. And then you avoid that whole, I've been on market a long time, so people expect a big wiggle room in that price at that point. So let's look at myth number 2. Home values listed online are accurate. I love that one. With just a single Google search, you can easily find tools that claim to calculate your home's value. Similarly, there are online listings of houses in the same neighborhood that can give you an estimate of how much your house will go for. Maybe, maybe not. That's all they are. They're rough estimates. Those tools don't take into account the love and effort you've put into your home, or not, nor do they take into account the neighborhood itself. Similarly, if someone has listed their house, they might have put in a higher asking price than maybe it should have had. Or maybe they're selling in an emergency and so they put a lower price on their house. I recommend asking your local real estate agent what similar houses to yours. And by that, I mean similar age, size, style, condition, location. Your house does not comp to a house that's 50 years different in age 10 miles away. Look in your neighborhood, find out what those houses are going for, and then help you come to a fair asking price. Pricing your home can get much more complicated than what a simple algorithm can calculate. Some factors that you want to consider that come into play are your home's current condition any renovations you've made or lack thereof, your neighborhood and amenities, any unique attributes that your specific house has, and things like how much natural light do you get or not get. Real estate agents take a complete picture of your house when evaluating it and recommending a price range. They're looking at all of those things rolled together. Myth number 3 that a lot of sellers talk to me about is this thought that renovations are going to be the key to getting you a good price. Yes, hands down, beautiful kitchens and bathrooms are often keys to selling a house. But that doesn't make them the only keys. And getting a good price isn't completely dependent on what type or how long it's been since you've renovated the house. It's also about many other factors like we talked about already. A lot of money and effort goes into renovating a house, be it a change of flooring, a kitchen renovation, cabinets, roof, landscaping, finishing a basement. You might end up spending way more on extensive renovation plans than what you'd ever get back on the sale, so that makes it impossible to recoup your investment. There's also a risk of over-personalizing your house and turning it into something that buyers wouldn't be interested in. So you want to be cautious when renovating. Only change what really needs to be changed. While low-cost repairs and renovations such as replacing an old bathroom vanity or kitchen cabinets are a welcome update, overdoing it isn't always a great idea. So ask your agent to do a walkthrough with you to determine what you should do or shouldn't do to prepare to list your home. I would always prefer to do a walkthrough with you before you do anything to your home, so I can help you determine what is or isn't going to be worth it in the long run. So the 4th myth I hear a lot is that this market's so great, my house will sell itself. Yes, the demand for good houses is high. But guys, this doesn't guarantee that you'll get a good price or even inquiries without some effort from your end. This statement, and I love this one, my house is perfect as it is and it's gonna sell itself. That's nothing more than dangerous house selling myth. Even the most basic tasks, think about it. Getting up in the morning, eating breakfast. Those things require you to make at least a little bit of effort. You're going to have to use the right tools and put in some effort in order to sell your house. It's that simple. To sell it better, quicker, easier, and for more money, the bar is going to be higher. Don't just walk away after putting a for sale sign outside your house. Some things you need in order to sell a house include marketing, the right connections, the ability to handle clients and negotiations, readiness. Clients can show up at any time. The right plan, a lot of preparation, including marketing, cleaning, updating, etc. These things all factor into it, and you need a professional to help you with those. So the last one is, an open house is a must-have for selling my house quickly. Guys, I'll tell you, it's rare that open houses actually sell a property. They are a great way of letting people know your house is up for sale. However, they're by no means an absolute must-do to sell your house. The idea of an open house is to let buyers know about you and see your house for themselves. It's simply a way of getting them to imagine themselves in that space and make up their mind. They are great, but they're not an absolute must. They're a negotiable part of your home's marketing and advertising plan. The thing with open houses is that they're truly open. Anyone can walk in. They may or may not be actually ready, willing, and able to buy. They might be your next door neighbors, just want to check out what your house looks like. The truth is that the people coming into your open house might not be actively looking or in a position to buy. So ask your agent if he or she thinks an open house would be a good idea for your specific property. A lot of times it comes down to your property, time of year, how the market is currently behaving as to whether or not they're worth opening your house up for that. So now that you know what some common myths and mistakes are to avoid when selling your home, how do you find the right realtor to walk step by step with you through the process to get your home sold smoothly and efficiently? If you're not sure how to answer that, check out my videos where I explain exactly what to look for when choosing your agent and why it's a good idea to work with an agent when selling or buying real estate. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Knoxville area and want to be taken care of by a trusted advisor, I encourage you to schedule a free consultation with me. where I'll walk you through my signature process of how I help clients with their home needs in Knoxville. You can schedule by contacting me at Shelby@brookshomegroup.com.